PS2 basically took the word straight out of my mouth. I swear to God, these refs were racially profiling.
Yeah, I listened to that. It was
Swear
so
to
funny.
God, bro. I don't know if I said this in the Avenue Fam 1.0 chat, but I swear, bro, these refs that are like pushing 60, get them the fuck out of the game. Welcome back to the Broncos Avenue podcast. Yes, for anyone who is a regular listener, we are back. It has been 3 effing months, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. There is so much we have to talk about today. We'll be discussing why we took a break, everything we missed from the first 8 weeks, including the big win over the Dallas Cowgirls last week. J.K. Dobbins looking like a superstar talent. Courtland Sutton taking a leap this year. Sean Payton's interesting play calling tendencies. Potential trade targets for the Broncos leading up to the trade deadline here in the coming days, and many, many more topics. Evan, brother, I was saying like before the pod or before we started recording, like it just doesn't feel real that we're back. It's been literally almost 3 months to the day. How are you doing, man? It's been a minute.
Man, I'm just so glad to be back. It's been hard to not really touch on with the listeners, touch on what's happened. There's been so much that's happened. But man, what a start to the season, and life's been good. I hope everyone that's watching's life's been good these last 3 months. Always like to hear, how you guys are doing and stuff like that. But it's been good for me. A lot of the same old, but a lot of stuff has happened as well. So, and especially the fact that NFL season's back on. I mean, I really can't complain. And I'm winning big sports betting, so I'm up on the year. So that's a good one. But I'm not promoting it at all. Don't sports bet.
Yeah. Actually, we might. Yeah. We should.
You might have to cut that out. Okay.
We'll be fine. I think it's just TikTok on their end. All right. And first off, I want to say happy Halloween to all those who celebrate. Make sure you guys stay safe out there today on this beautiful Halloween day. It is so great to see you guys again. Obviously, we're not physically seeing you, but just you being here in the community with us. It genuinely feels so good, like being here back on the podcast. This is what I love to do. So if you guys are a new listener, this is the first time you're clicking on the channel, or like you just aren't like a regular listener, haven't listened to multiple episodes, you can skip past this. I'll put it I'll have timestamps on the on this episode if you're listening on YouTube, where you can skip to if you don't care about like why we took a break and everything, and I'll be going more into depth on everything. Just basically like a lot of personal stuff came up, and I know I didn't really make an announcement after it came up that we were going to be taking a break, just because I didn't know how long it was going to be. I did tell Evan that it was going to be a little minute, just didn't know exactly how long. A lot of personal stuff came up, a lot of family stuff. And also like I just needed a little bit of a break from the internet. Internet became a little too oversaturating. Just a lot was going into it. And first off, I want to thank you, Evan, personally. Like, you checked up on me so many times, like when a lot of people didn't. And that does mean a lot to me. Like I'm just getting emotional like thinking about it. Like I'm a very private person, so I don't talk a lot about these things, but just a lot. I'm not gonna lie, these last 3 months were fucking hell, but I was telling you before the pod, like I genuinely feel like the happiest I've been in years right now. So it's really good to be back. And also, like, thank you guys so much, and I can't state this enough. Thank you so much for the support, like when we were gone. I just want to go through some numbers, which is actually insane. And this is not just when we were gone, like leading up to it, when Evan took over as the co-host. 50 straight videos on YouTube with more than 1,000 views. Before this year, we weren't pulling numbers like this. 39 of them being podcast episodes. 39 straight episodes with 1,000 views on YouTube. And racked up over 17 million views on this channel during our 3-month break with shorts and everything combined. I mean, the support has been awesome. We literally, like, when we took a break, I don't remember exactly how many subscribers we had, but it was like in the low 6,000s. We're about to hit 9,000 right now. So I just want to take a quick moment. Thank you guys so much. And if you guys can take like literally 3 seconds to subscribe and help us get to 10K before the end of the year, that would be awesome. One of my goals going into the year into 2025 was to hit 10,000 subscribers this year. And once again, man, just thank you guys so much for getting us to literally 8.7 thousand subs right now. And going off the YouTube subject, if you guys, as most of you guys know, I'm no longer posting Broncos content on Instagram. Yes, I sold the account again. But I am now posting all Broncos news and rumors in our Broncos Avenue YouTube community. So if you guys don't know what that is, there's like a little community tab. You can go on mobile. You can go on PC, but I don't think you can go on TV. But basically, I'll have all Broncos news, rumors, all the trade stuff leading up to the deadline. If you guys, most of you guys did find this podcast from Instagram, and like obviously we're funneled over from Instagram to YouTube, and I really do appreciate all the OG fans. You guys know that I kind of like blew up from like news content, so I'm literally just transferring that from Instagram to YouTube, because I don't care. I'm gonna say it. It's fuck Instagram to the end of time. They have zero monetization on their platform except for like fucking live badges, which like no one uses. So it's way more beneficial to like this channel and this community to grow this way and post the news on here. Also, like YouTube's just pushing like community posts like crazy right now. So if you guys can like those, and if you want to stay tuned with the latest Broncos news, that'll be awesome. Also, you guys can start making your own posts in there as well. I turned on the feature where you can post in the community. So right now it's just been me posting. I don't think anyone knows. Like if you guys want to like rant during the games, I don't give a shit. I have like literally all the filters off. You can say whatever you want in the community. Evan and I have made it very like focal that like we are a non-filtered Broncos podcast to an extent. We will keep it very blunt and honest all the time if you guys are new listeners. So you can do literally the same thing in the community. You have to be subscribed for at least one day in order to be posting in there. That's YouTube's rules, not mine. Also, if you'd be interested in being a mod in the community as well, comment below or DM me on Twitter at Broncos Ave, and I'll get you set up. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna kind of lead off of what you were saying with the support. I've never been a part of something like this before, and I want everyone to know that I really do appreciate this opportunity. You've been so kind to me in this whole thing, and it's I don't want you guys to think that obviously Amir was going through his own personal stuff, but he was trying to make an effort to keep up with the episodes, and it's also on me. I actually my working hours are kind of crazy in September. I work in an agricultural dealership, so September is when all the crops are coming off. So I really had no time to, work around his schedule as well. So it was partially on me. So I don't see why anyone would be upset about missing the episodes. I mean, maybe you miss us, I guess. I don't know. But it's not 100% on him. Like there was scheduling conflicts due to me, but he's been super accommodating to me ever since I've joined the channel. And it's been nothing but love for the fans and as well as Amir. So again, like I said, I appreciate the opportunity and I'm so excited to get back and get this content out for you guys again.
Yeah, exactly. And I know most of the people are kind of sick of this yapping so far from me. I'm sorry. Yeah. Real quickly, though, I want to plug my TikTok. I'm going to start posting on TikTok again. If you are interested in more short-term content with me breaking down the latest Broncos news and games, go follow us over there at Broncos Avenue on TikTok. Also, let me know if you guys want me to start live streaming games again. Let me know in the comments. I will strongly consider it if enough people want to see it. If you guys were there during the games last year, it was fucking awesome. That's fun fact. That's actually how I met Evan, and he ended up becoming the co-host of this podcast. So
yeah, crazy.
Yeah. I'm definitely not as crazier reacting to games as I was last year, a little more on the relaxed side. But during these games, some of them can get me a little amped up. So let me know in the comments if you guys want me to start streaming games again. All right, let's get into the real Broncos content. Missed the last 8 games of coverage, but instead of going game by game in chronological order, we're going to start by breaking down what we learned from Denver's dominant 44-24 victory over the Dallas Cowboys in Week 8. Let's start going through some of these big takeaways. Just through the first 8 weeks of the season, J.K. Dobbins is just fucking incredible. After rushing for 111 yards this game, he now has more rushing yards in 8 games than any Broncos running back had through the entirety of last season. He is also third in the NFL in rushing with 634, just 1 yard ahead of my Pookie Bear Javonte, who's balling out in Dallas. I'm really happy for him. But we did make the right decision going with J.K. Around the same contract. What are your overall thoughts on how J.K.'s looked this year? It's just, bro, he's looked unbelievable.
So I know you were super high on J.K. Dobbins. I liked the signing. I wasn't like the biggest advocate for it, but man, he's everything and more that we could have hoped for. He fits in our zone-heavy scheme so well. His vision, his jump cuts, his cutbacks, it's just been like poetry in motion to watch. He's working so much. Like, not saying that Javonte Williams was the problem, but the Cowboys run the most gap scheme out of any team running the football, and that's where he succeeds. That just doesn't work with Sean Payton and the way he calls running plays. And the fact that, I think it was the best of both worlds for the guys. Like, I'm so happy to see Javonte succeed in Dallas, but I think J.K. Dobbins fits way better in the system. And like I said, he's been everything and more that we would have wanted out of a running back. And it seems the thing that I like the most is in all of his interviews, it seems like he loves being a Bronco. And that's the biggest thing for me. And I definitely see us re-signing. I will be ecstatic when I see that notification pop up on my phone saying that J.K. Dobbins is re-signed for whatever 3 years or whatever the contract may be. I'm not exactly sure. And the fact when the reporters were asking him, I was listening to an interview from today, and they were asking him, he's like, I don't want to talk about it as an extension. I want to talk about it as my time in Denver, because he cares. He doesn't care about the money. He cares about playing for this team and playing for the fans and the organization. And I thought that's the kind of guy you want to have in your room, especially, when he's not that much older than RJ Harvey, but he's been in the league so long, had his trials and tribulations in the league. And I feel like there's no better role model for a younger back like Harvey, has way less experience. And I feel like without Dobbins, Harvey wouldn't be at the point that he is at, spoiler alert, talking about the Cowboys game, scoring 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he had a phenomenal game. I love RJ Harvey. We'll get to him in a second. JK, man, I mean, I've been a huge fan since Ohio State. That team with Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson, JK Dobbins, that was like the first time I really sat there and was like a fan of a specific college team. And I just remember, I think his name's Gus Johnson, JK all day. I remember that. I mean, just literally yesterday when I'm in high school watching those games, and now he's on my team talking about how he would run over mountains for Denver. I mean, dude, I can't even believe it. He's my franchise running back, and you're talking about like an extension as well. Just gets me excited. And with RJ Harvey, I feel like you really got to extend J.K. Dobbins. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Harvey. I was really high going on him into this season as well. It was before this game that if you took away the 50-yard run against the Titans, which was just a phenomenal run, he has real talent and speed and lateral quickness, everything that we talked about prior to the regular season. If you took out that 50-yard run, he was averaging 2.5 yards a carry, maybe a little bit less than that. There was a rough stretch where he was having multiple games of 5 or less rushing yards. What are your thoughts so far on how he's came along? Obviously, he's a rookie. I mean, you can't really be too hard on him. But what are your thoughts so far on how he's came along outside of maybe this Cowboys game?
So, people are going to be in the comments. I'm just going to address it right now. They're going to be like, oh, look at Caleb Johnson. Look at RJ Harvey. Where's the RJ Harvey apology? Yeah, okay. So just briefly, I know this is a Broncos podcast. I want to briefly touch on Caleb Johnson. Now, Caleb Johnson has been disappointing, but I don't think Arthur Smith is a good OC. And if you look at the Steelers offense, look how dysfunctional it is. Kenneth Gainwell's or Jalen Warren's not it's a mess over there. Okay. So I know Caleb Johnson hasn't been great. But again, I definitely have talked about this in a previous episode. I wasn't mad about the RJ Harvey pick as much as I was mad as wasn't Caleb Johnson. So I just want to say that now. And, after doing my research on my RJ Harvey coming into the year, I was happy for RJ Harvey. And I, like you said, he had that little rough stretch. I also think that could be accredited to different situations that he was placed in, as well as some of the play calls. Yeah, he definitely has that big playability that we saw out of him coming out of UCF. Sorry, a little rusty. And I think that, as the offense develops more, and again, talking about the Cowboys game, I know we're talking about the segment on running backs, but I think that, you could say it was the Cowboys, the worst defense in the NFL, but I think that the confidence that the offense is gaining and the confidence that Sean is getting from, everyone doing their job against the Cowboys defense, it really opened up the playbook in that game more than any other game this year. And I think that's going to be huge for this offense going on later in the year. Just the fact that, I'm not saying that, screens aren't a good thing. Like Sean, he runs a lot of them. A lot of people get mad about the screens. Shout out to Dwayne. I know he loves them. So I think that the screens are good situationally, but I feel like Sean was kind of handcuffing the offense a bit. And I think that he just needed this moment where everyone was executing as well as they were in this past game. And it's really nice to see, watching the film breakdowns and seeing the different concepts that they're running. Like, it seems like Sean's gaining more and more confidence with every play in that game. So I'm really excited to watch this offense moving forward and seeing the progressions of guys like Harvey and Pat Bryant.
Yeah, Harvey, 8 touches, 51 yards, and 3 tuds in that game. Pretty big breakout game from him. Him and J.K. Dobbins, definitely top 5 running back duo. Troy Franklin he just looks like an entirely different player this year. He may not be playing like a wide receiver 1 by any means, but I mean, he had 89 yards, 2 touchdowns, his second game this year with 89 yards and at least 1 touchdown. He has been playing very consistently when he gets targeted the ball, catching a lot more of those passes that maybe would have dropped a year ago in his rookie year. Him and Bo Nix, the chemistry is looking a lot more relative to what it looked like at Oregon. He is definitely the wide receiver 2, I would say, over Marvin Mims, just in my opinion. I know some people still love Marvin Mims. Marvin Mims is one of those tricky ones where, like, he's like more of a gadget player to me. He really can only run those like go routes. I mean, the Giants game, I mean, he just came away with some really good plays, but like those are once again just like go routes, back shoulder fades. Like, to me, he doesn't really look like the future wide receiver 2 of this offense. It's Troy Franklin. The route running, the expanded route tree. He just improved so much this year.
Yeah, I definitely think that, while Troy Franklin has speed, Marvin Mims has been strictly a big play guy in this offense, on that game-winning drive, even before the game-winning drive when he's making those crazy catches. Like, that's the kind of thing that Marvin Mims does. But then he also has, the low lights where he dropped that ball last game. I can't remember exactly what quarter it was in, but it just like bobbled off his hands like 4 times. So I do still really love Marvin Mims, but Troy Franklin really has emerged. Just like you said, his route running, oh my gosh, man, like it's night and day. It must be that number 11, man. Like I said at the beginning of the year, I was kind of saying it sarcastically, but I mean, it really does. It seems like it's definitely been a confidence thing now. I think he does have a little bit of concentration issues in certain contested catch situations. But I think that just when he's open, like it's been so nice to see him catching wide open balls. Like unlike last year where he was dropping those ones, he's been way more consistent doing that, and he's getting so much separation. It's been really nice to watch his development. It's night and day from last year, and I can definitely just see it continuing and him building a greater and greater rapport with Bo Nix, and it's just been amazing to watch his development. Coming out of he had probably one of the worst rookie camps I think ever. Like, he was so bad, and even his rookie campaign, it was not great. So I'm really glad that they didn't give up on him, and he's been a difference maker this year for sure.
Bo Nix, 247 yards, 4 touchdowns, has 8 total touchdowns in his last 5 quarters, and led Denver's offense to 77 points in those quarters. I mean, just what the hell? I mean, could we just talk about these last 2 games? How special it is to witness what we are seeing with the best quarterback over the 2024 draft class. I mean, it's remarkable to see what we're seeing from him on the growth this year. I know there is. What are your thoughts overall on like how they began the season? On everyone was judging Bo Nix and kind of like writing him off. Obviously, we haven't. Oh, I don't want to say we haven't gone up against like really, really tough defenses. There have been, a lot of these NFC opponents like the Giants. The Giants have a good defense, but a lot of people are kind of criticizing Bo Nix, saying he hasn't really gone up against that much of competition. Drake May clears. I saw some. I think like it was an NFL post like praising Bo Nix, and the entire comment section was like, "Cool, give me Drake May." I don't know. Bo Nix has looked really good this year.
I totally agree. As one, I go to war in group chats and comment sections talking about Bo Nix. It's corny, but I'm a Bo-lever. Like I'm full all in on Bo. And it's the same people that say Bo Nix hasn't played a real defense that say Drake May and Patrick Mahomes are in the MVP conversation. Look at who Patrick Mahomes has played and who he's beat and who he's played good against. And look at Drake May and who's the only game that Drake May really has that I thought, and don't get me wrong, Drake May was my number one quarterback coming out of that draft class. I love Drake May.
Me too.
And I think that Drake May is great. I'm not saying this is a knock to Drake May, but if you're going to use that argument with Bo Nix, you should use it with Drake May as well. Because if you look at, like, I don't have it pulled up, but I know the only like statement win that I think the Patriots have this year is the Bills. Yeah. So, and I was super high on the Patriots coming out this year. I have no problem with the Patriots. I don't know why, but this argument is with Drake May. Like I have so much respect for Drake May. I think Bo Nix and Drake May are probably, Daniels was amazing last year, but you can't say healthy. The best ability is availability. So I'm kind of discrediting his second year because he hasn't been healthy at all.
Yeah.
I think Caleb's looked terrible. And shout out to Ty because Ty thinks Caleb's like the best thing since sliced bread.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. So I don't understand all the hate that Bo Nix gets. Like he's such a genuine guy, and it seems like he cares so much about the team and his family and even to the like he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's being an asshole, talking to defenses, like attacking people's character. Like he just likes to play football, man. Like he doesn't deserve all the hate that he gets, man. Like I understand, like you can say Mo Picks or whatever the heck they call him. Like
so
it's like it's so corny, bro. Like Bo Nix has been so good, and I think that saying, oh well, he hasn't played a real defense, like you could say that about like so many of these quarterbacks that have good games against bad defenses. Like what's he supposed to do? Play bad against bad teams? Like what do you want? I don't think he's played bad against good teams. Like he played solid against the Colts, I thought.
He gets so much hate. Like now that I think about it,
it's disgusting how much hate he gets. Like it actually, the amount of times that I've had to go to war for this quarterback, who, keep in mind, was the 6th quarterback taken in his draft class, who has the best stats out of the quarterbacks in his draft class, who was coming into arguably the worst situation in his draft class. People thought J.J. McCarthy's better than him. J.J. McCarthy's played 6 quarters of football in 2 years, and he's had one good one. Like, I just, like, people are still arguing that J.J. McCarthy's better than Bo Nix. Like, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Like, it's just, like, there's no point. These people are just, like, baiting at this point. It's like...
I love J.J., but, like, why are people arguing that right now? Like makes we'll see when he has like at least 20 games under his belt. I hate when people judge young quarterbacks, man. Unless you're just fucking horrible. Like who was the last Josh Rosen, but like who was the one that comes like recently who's been drafted relatively high?
Zach Wilson.
It's like bro, Fields. Unless you're Zach Wilson, bro, like come on. Like Justin Fields too. Like Justin Fields, like I don't think anyone ever deserves hate, but like heavy criticism, Justin Fields do. Like I've never seen someone hold on to the ball so fucking long in their life.
It's such slow processing speed. It's like it's actually painful to watch. But I'm sure he's a great guy. So I don't.
Yeah, and I see them over there talking about we should trade for Shador, bro. He does the same fucking thing.
Yeah, it's like literally the exact same thing. That's the knock on Shador is his processing speed and his arm strength. So.
Yeah.
One more thing, since we were talking about the running backs, I just want everyone to say that talking about how good Jaleel McLaughlin is, he's suited up for one game this year, so like you guys can,
all those comments that said, "Oh, you guys are delusional. Jaleel McLaughlin is easily RB2, RB3."
Oh man, it's every time I look at the game day inactives and I see Julian McLaughlin's name on it, it's like, thank you.
I'm so glad Tyler Bidet is RB3, man.
Yeah. And you know what? People were so hard on him. Was it I don't even remember what game it was that he.
Oh yeah, he had like a few drops.
Yeah, I think he's been solid, man. He's a good third down back.
He's good in his role.
Yeah.
We talked about Bo Nix. The rookies in general balled out. Jahdae Barron, his first pick. We're gonna need him big time against this Texans offense.
And Kirk and Collins are back. I know we're not into that yet, but Kirk and Nico Collins are back, so it's gonna be the guys are really gonna have to step up.
Pat Bryant, your glorious king, caught a beautiful 24-yard touchdown pass. He seems to be catching everything thrown his way. He's looked really good in and out of his breaks. Looks like the slant god that we thought. I mean, I won't say slant god yet because people are gonna come after me for that. But he looks like he's trending in that direction. That's what I'll say.
He looks like a young Michael Thomas.
Can't say Sean Payton didn't call that one. We talked about a lot of good stuff. Let's go ahead and get into one negative thing. PS2, unfortunately, did suffer a pec strain in the first half that will unfortunately sideline him 4 to 6 weeks. What are your thoughts on Riley Moss this year? This really interesting topic that a lot of people have been discussing the last 2 weeks. I thought it was hilarious that PS2 basically took the words straight out of my mouth. I swear to God, these refs were racially profiling.
Yeah, I listened to that.
Swear to God, bro. I don't know if I said this in the Avenue Fam 1.0 chat, but I swear, bro, these refs that are like pushing 60, get them the fuck out of the game.
Yeah,
like, it's been off so bad. They're genuinely so stupid when it comes to Riley Moss.
It's been bad, and I'm one of I know I say I go to bat for everybody, but people in the fan base treat Riley Moss like he's Damari Mathis. Like I can't believe that how much criticism he gets. He is so talented for playing against on the opposite side of Pat, and like the shout out to Close on Sundays pod with Terry Arnold and Pat Sertan. I've been listening to it. I've been loving it. It has to be like there's no other explanation because he's in such good position and playing arguably the hardest position on the field, and he's in perfect coverage against a top 3 receiver in the NFL, and you're going to throw a PI because the top 3 receiver doesn't catch it, and it's like a milk check. Like it has to be like that's the only thing that makes sense. Like that one in the end zone.
My God, one CD.
And the one in the Giants game, sorry, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but the one in the Giants game, I swear I have never seen a more rigged officiated game in my entire life. Like Vegas had to have made the call in that game because that was an embarrassing outing for the NFL. And then after the ref getting mad, pushing Strnad, we're not going to get into that. I thought that was ridiculous, man. But that PI call, there's a snapshot where Riley Moss, the guy's got Riley Moss in a headlock. He can't even turn his head around anymore. He's
white. Flag him.
Him out. And they threw the flag. I genuinely couldn't believe that. And then obviously Sean Payton runs onto the field, which I think is completely justified. And I understand that it's a flag but like, what are you like? NFL needs to implement something where they can, change flags on pass interference or challenge the flag because if that wasn't like that's got to be one of the most ball don't lie moments ever. The fact that the Broncos won that game because like that was, dude, my mouse broke. The guys in the group chat know my mouse broke. Like I was so infuriated with that, and I said, my buddies, if they're watching this, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you always complain about the officials," but I don't. Like that's genuine, bro. Like that was so terrible. It's no different than the Colts game with the stupid leverage call. Like we haven't even talked about that. Like I keep forgetting that we haven't done any episodes. Like man, it's been a rough year for officiating, man. But I personally think Riley Moss has been great. I feel like he's coming back to form as much as he's been the most pass interference riddled player in the NFL. I think that, I don't think he PIs as much as Sauce Gardner, but they don't call it on Sauce Gardner. So I don't, Ahmad Gardner, he's not Sauce anymore. So I just think, it's gotta be something. They gotta have something against him, but I'm expecting them to have a big game this week against the Texans and Jahdae Barron stepping up and Chris Abrams strain, the Texans really like to spread out their offense. So there's going to be a lot of corners on the field. So I'm definitely excited to see how the guys step up. I feel like they're going to really play for Pat. And I did see something that, like, where Pat was saying, I don't know if this was just him being optimistic, but, they didn't place him on IR probably because they think he's going to be out to 4 weeks. He's probably going to miss it till the bye. And then, because the thing is if they put him on IR right now, the bye doesn't count for an IR week, so he would be out 5 weeks. So I think that's pretty much why they're not putting him on IR, and they're just expecting him to be back after the bye. So prayers up for him. Hopefully maybe he can get back for the Chiefs game, but I don't want him to really rush it. So
yeah. I mean, that is one thing I'm not going to lie. Like, I like Riley Moss, but there were some points like a few weeks ago where I was getting a little bit frustrated with him. I understand, you're playing opposite passer 10, but you still got your assignment. And there were some games where I can't really recall them specifically. There were some plays where he's getting burnt and whatever, but you got to be patient with it. I would say really concerned, but I'm a bit concerned like what this secondary is going to look like without PS2. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not going to be their first game without PS2 since we drafted him? He's maybe missed like
he missed the Saints game last year after he got hurt against the Chargers, and technically he missed the whole Chargers game. He played 2 snaps, but that wasn't that like detrimental. That was the Saints. So, but the Chargers game, it definitely made a difference. So, if you're counting that game, even though it wasn't a full game that he missed, those were the only 2 games he's missed, I believe.
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous to see what it's going to look like. That's going to be the big factor in this game because you said they are getting some receivers returning. So, and they just got a big upset against the 49ers. The Texans, I mean, we'll get into it later, but CJ Stroud's been up and down this year. Seems like he's finally starting to figure it out again. But their offensive line's been abysmal. They still got a really strong defense, probably like right there behind us. Yeah, it's gonna be a really good game.
Defensive line's gonna have to really step up.
Yeah, they're gonna need to get to the quarterback quick. All right, we talked about the screens of Sean Payton. That's one of the main topics I want to go into. What are your thoughts overall, like on like Sean Payton's play calling in general this year? Because I know a lot of people like a couple of weeks ago, like right before that Giants game, they wanted him to give up the play calling duties like right then and there.
So I thought, once. Like people were making jokes, like just go down by 30 or go down by 20, whatever, and then Sean Payton might actually open up the playbook. But,
seen that picture of like him telling Bo Nix, like as a joke, "Hey, let's go down by 30 and joke with them and come score fucking 33 in the fourth quarter."
Yeah, I thought that the Colts game, the play calling was good. The Eagles game, man, I thought he called some great plays down the stretch in that Eagles game. I can't recall exactly the plays, but I thought that it was really good, especially that ballsy 2-point conversion. I thought that was a classic staple Sean Payton. The Giants game and the end of it, the front half was terrible. The Jets game was terrible. That was like thank God the Broncos won because that would have probably been tied with that Colts Thursday night football game that I watched a couple years ago. Oh, it was bad. So, and I had to wake up early for that game. So that was not good. But I really thought the Cowboys game, you can really see Sean's getting more comfortable calling plays. I think he should have been earlier in the season, but I'm really excited to see, I'm not saying that he had training wheels on, but it was nice to see that they were calling this. I feel like the thing is Sean was trying to use the screens to set up the run game instead of using the run game to set up the screens and the RPOs. So I feel like now if he calls them a little less frequently and a little more situationally, I think the screens are good. I think he draws up a good screen, but if you're calling them every other play, I mean, defenses are going to pick up on it. So I thought he really opened up the playbook, and I thought Bo looked comfortable. So I'm hoping that's enough to, push Sean Payton over the edge and kind of unload the playbook on this Texans team.
Yeah, the screens they were getting to a point where it was way too much for me. I mean, I just couldn't believe it with the screen bullshit. It gets way too predictable to a point. I think like NFL, I think it might have been like Jeremy Fowler or someone recently like tweeted about how like NFL defenses and like he's heard like in inner circles that like certain defenses are looking at the Sean Payton offense and they feel like they had to figure it out. That was before like the Giants and Cowboys game, obviously. He called a great game against the Cowboys. Although there were still some screens in there, the Cowboys defense is just abysmal. So I want to see more consistency. If he calls a great game against the Texans, man, I'll feel really, really good. I mean, 7-2, that'd be incredible. Moving off from the Sean Payton play calling stuff, let us know in the comments what you guys think about all the Sean Payton play calling drama and everything this year. Courtland Sutton, the leap he's had this year. You gave your apology for RJ Harvey. Guys, I got to give an even bigger one for Courtland Sutton. He's been so good this year. He definitely looks way better than I thought he would look this year. I mean, am I the only one that's like seeing like the leap he's had? I mean, he's what, like 29, 30 years old. This looks like the best version of Courtland Sutton I think we've ever seen. And it's it is a lot because of the product of quarterback play we're getting. And maybe that leads me to think I was being a little bit too harsh during the Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater era and the beginning of the Russell Wilson era. I still don't think he's on the level of a Mecca Ibuka, which, God fucking almighty, he's just my glorious king, the best receiver in the NFL. I'll defend him to the end of time. I wish we would have traded up for him. I don't care. I love Jade. I still would have traded up for Ibuka.
He's been so good, man. Just like we said.
Yeah, he's not on the level of Malik Nape. What were you saying?
And who's been the best rookie running back?
Who has?
Quinshon Judkins.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and who's been a great rookie tight end? Gunnar Helm.
Hey, you remember draft Travion Henderson at 20?
Yeah.
How's that going? Yeah. The Patriots want to trade for another fucking running back right now. Oh, man. Some takes just age.
And you can say that we're terrible and the show sucks, but you can't deny we know ball, man. Like, we know ball. It's at the end of the day, it comes down to, are you a ball knower or are you not a ball knower? And you guys can judge me on the Caleb Johnson hype all you want. Pat Bryant's been exceeding expectations that the league has had for him, or like the guys around him. Ibuka has been arguably a top 10, arguably a top 5 receiver in the NFL.
I think he's top 5.
Oh, he's been just amazing. Quinshon Judkins, minus the whole domestic abuse thing that it may or may not have happened. I don't really know. He's been great.
I'm playing.
Yeah. So I just, Gunnar Helm's been good on the abysmal Titans team. So, I mean, those are pretty much I think our final mock was Ibuka, Judkins, and Gunnar Helm. Was it not?
I don't remember, but I remember mocking those guys a lot.
Yeah, I just, not to toot my own horn or anything, or our horn, pause, but I think that, that should speak to at least, I'm not just some idiot with a microphone. Like, I kind of do my research, and I kind of do know a little bit about what I'm talking about. So, sorry, I needed to throw that in there because a lot of people were shitting on us, so.
Yeah, I just like to let my old clips do the talking for themselves.
Yeah.
Courtland Sutton, man, top 10 in receiving yards. He's just been lights out, really, really good. I will admit it first. I know there's going to be that there are a couple people in the comments. Yep, I was wrong. Okay. I mean, Courtland Sutton's a wide receiver one. I still will stand on my take, though. I still don't think he's a JSN, Malik Neighbors, Egbuka type receiver, but he's still great.
JSN fantasy owners, rise up, bro.
Hey, let's go.
Single-handedly carrying my team. Dude, I had Bucky Irving, Trey Benson, Tyreek Hill. The only reason why I still have won a couple games has been because of JSN. So
yeah, I drafted.
He's been so good, man. Oh man, the Seahawks are scary, man. I picked them to win the division, and they've been so good.
Sam Darnold is elite, bro. He's so more than elite.
It's so nice seeing a quarterback that was so hated on go to a good situation and ball out. So
yeah, Danny Dimes too. I don't even want to talk about that Colts game, man.
No, made me want to throw up, man. That was just terrible.
Another one I want to talk about real briefly, Nik Bonitto. I mean, there's just not much more to say about him. He's just unbelievable. I think it's safe to say he's easily a top 3 edge in the league.
Oh, 100%. Right? TJ Watt's washed. I mean, there's no one in the league that has a get off like Nik Bonitto. You could argue Micah Parsons is maybe, just the fact that I would say Micah Parsons is probably a better athlete with the strength and weight ratio. But Nik Bonitto, like you watch his film, like I don't. It's like Von Miller-esque how fast he gets off the line. I can't believe it. He's been so good. He's had 2 slower weeks, but the guys have picked up the slack behind him. Guys, the thing is like when you got a guy like Nik Bonitto who's just been wrecking games, guys are going to start scheming against him. Not that they weren't before, but like he's getting chipped, he's getting not they're rolling out away from him and stuff like that. So I'm expecting a big game from Nik Bonitto this week. But it's just he's been everything and more that we could have wanted again. Like he living up to his contract times 10. Just been so explosive. Such a good pass rusher, and I really like how Jonathan Cooper's been playing as well, and having Malcolm Roach back is so big. JFM's been great. Zach Allen's been great. Dondre Tillman had a rumble and stumble and big boy pick
so
six
sick.
almost. So it was almost a pick six. So that was awesome. I mean, that's another guy like UFL, like you loved him coming out. And just like I'm so happy with how the defense has been playing, and I really liked how Dre Greenlaw played. Unfortunately for the suspension, but I think that now that he's not going to be on as small of a snap count, like even in his limited snap count, you noticed him. So I just can't wait to see Dre Greenlaw on the field, full time. So that's another guy just to add to the defense. Like the defense has been so good without him, and just adding him. Man, it's going to be so good.
Yeah, he's been great in the limited time that we've seen him. One of my best friends, shout out to Tyus, I'll send him this clip. He's a big University of Arkansas fan, and he's constantly texting me, "Yo, when's Dre Greenlaw coming back? He looked really good in that game, man. What do you think about him?" Every Arkansas guy he really wanted us to get Traylon Burks too. We brought him in for a visit, but he chose some other random team.
Mm-hmm.
He should have came here on the practice squad, but it is what it is. Yeah, I love that you bring up J. Coop too. I mean, I love J. Coop. I mean, we talk about the guys with the fastest get-offs in the league. He's right there in the top 5. He's just, dude, we're so lucky as Broncos fans to have, like, I don't want to say just yet a repeat of DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller, but this is the closest thing by far we've had to them.
Sure. That's the first thing that comes to mind, man. Like, it's just, it's like, man, it's like, I hate, because those are 2 Hall of Famers, man. Like it's like I hate to just compare and say that, but like what this is the closest thing to that. Like it's we've been blessed with edge rushers like ever since Vaughn and even Elvis Dumerville before, and like it just it's so nice to have edge secure because it's such a sought after position. So and the fact that Nik Bonitto's locked in, it's just amazing, man.
So real quick before we go over some trade targets the Broncos should go after, and let us know in the comments if there's any topics that we're missing or any trade targets that we're going to miss. Real quickly, I want to go over these games. Broncos, I saw someone in one of my group chats recommended that we go over all the games that we missed, like real briefly. So Broncos Titans, Broncos won 20-12. Is there anything that you wanted to talk real much about that game?
Week 1, shaking the rust off. Not the best performance by the offense. Defense was elite. They had 1 first down in the second half. I mean, you can't complain about that. Yeah. I know it's the Titans, but I think it's just shaking the rust off. It was week 1. I don't think there's too much to talk about. I wouldn't read into the struggles of the offense too much in that game.
Week 2, the heartbreaker against the Colts. Fun fact, I actually was on 3 hours of sleep the night prior, so I literally missed almost all of this game. And when I woke up, I go in one of the group chats. I'm like, what the hell happened? And they're like, bro, just don't watch no highlights, don't watch nothing, just go on with your day. And bro, when I found out the way the game ended, what the hell? We were right there. What was it? He missed the field goal, and then the leverage penalty.
The field goal missed, and then they threw the flag on leverage.
Such bullshit.
I'm not some crazy tinfoil hat guy, but I think something like 87% of the money was on Denver.
Yeah, it's some things have been really.
Seems like Vegas made the call on that one. I think that basically just because again, I get that it's a penalty, but it happens on at least 70% of field goals. I bet you could pick a random PAT or field goal from a game. where it's close and you can find a leverage call that doesn't get called. But the fact that the flag got through after the field goal was missed, it had zero effect on the play at all. Not even remotely. He didn't get remotely near blocking the kick.
Yeah.
And the fact that 70% of the money was on Denver, I don't know.
I've always been an anti rigged person. And
that's the most rigged game I think I've ever seen in my life. That was brutal, man. I was sick to my stomach after that game. That was obviously it's very similar to that Chiefs game last year, but there's no other explanation. There's been, I think, one other leverage call this year, and I guarantee you could probably find 50 counts of leverage on PATs and field goals. So there's no other explanation why you call that in that situation besides Vegas made the call, because it had zero effect on the play. They missed the field goal. Now, you can argue, why is Darren Rizzo trying to block a 60-yard field goal for a kicker that's played 2 NFL games? Yeah, that's a fair point. Still, doesn't change the fact that they gained no advantage. There was no block on the play. It did not affect the kicker at all. He missed by 40 feet. It wasn't even long enough to go into the goalposts. It missed short and right. So, and then and the fact that it's a 15-yard penalty is just disgusting. It's literally a free. It's like they just gave them the game, turning a 60-yard field goal into a 45-yard field goal. I couldn't believe my eyes after that game. And then I think the Chargers game was a little bit different. I know I'm getting ahead. I'm just going to move on from the game. The Chargers game, that one, I think that was a little bit more of us shooting ourselves in the foot. I thought the officiating was questionable in that, but I think that the offense did not play up to the standard that we should set for a team that's projected to be as good as we are and that we've hoped they would be. But that play that Justin Herbert made to Keenan Allen for that touchdown, what are you supposed to do in that situation? That's just an MVP type play. You could I'm not going to blame the officials for that game. Justin Herbert won them that game, and our offense lost that game, honestly. So I'm not too upset about that one. But the Colts one, I think, is just highway robbery. I think it's just disgusting how that happened. And now the Colts are a really good team, but so are the Broncos. So I just think I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, that throw against that Justin Herbert throw where Bonitto's coming after him. I mean,
he's in his face and he throws it around his body. Bro, that was just crazy. You can't even be. What are you supposed to do in that situation? That's just a crazy play.
Him and Madison Beer were doing some black magic pregame, 100%. A lot of people have been saying the Broncos could easily be 8-0 right now. Nah, I think we lost that Chargers game fair and square.
And I think that if we don't lose the Colts in the Chargers game, I don't think we beat the Eagles.
Yeah, it changes things.
Yeah, I don't think we have the resilience to beat the Eagles there. So I don't know. Hindsight's always 20/20, but it is what it is. I wouldn't change if it meant that we'd be in a worse position now. I wouldn't change it. So.
Exactly. Broncos pound the Bengals 28-3. That was just a really good game on prime time to watch. I believe that was J.K. Dobbins cementing. I don't know if it's considered history, but it was the first time in several years the Broncos had a 100-yard rusher. Really reassuring to see. After that game, he clearly took over as one of the better running backs in the league. Even though the Bengals defense very depleted and just poor all around, great game from both the offensive line and J.K. Dobbins.
No, that was a good one to watch. It had a lot of hype going into it with the whole game last year, one of the best games I've ever watched, even though the Broncos lost. A very memorable one for me last year. I know we're not talking about last year, but I thought it was nice. I was a big Latavius Murray fan, even though the team was so piss poor. I know saying you're a Latavius Murray fan, but he was the last guy to do it. So it's nice to finally have confidence in the run game again, for sure. Makes the job easier on Bo as well.
The Broncos, I know that we mentioned the term statement win early on. They came up big time in this game. Bo Nix 242 yards, a touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, once again, another great game. Courtland Sutton just 1 yard short of 100 yards. I was very, very, very impressed with the clutch catches he was making in this game. Even Evan Ingram, this is the first game where we're like, okay, this is what we signed Evan Ingram for. He had that one touchdown where he reached over the pylon, really looked like the Joker. I know some people need a trigger warning with that word. He had 4 catches, 33 yards, touchdown. Nothing too special, but like I don't think we've seen a performance like that from a tight end in years, probably from the Broncos, which is just fucking sad to say, but it's the truth. Yeah, overall, big comeback win by the Broncos. This was the first game where I really started to think, man, this team could really make a deep playoff run.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's a culture-setting win. You know, Sean Payton was saying that. I thought that was the best called game up to that point. And just, you know, again, people are going to say, oh, the Eagles were playing well. But I think the Broncos just abused. They saw – Sean Payton saw something in the Eagles' defense, and the Broncos abused it. And I think that, you know, that demoralizing loss that they had, you know, eventually they lose to the Giants. People use that to discredit the win because everyone's just trying to discredit the Broncos for some reason. But I think that was a statement win, the best win of the Sean Payton era, in my opinion. That was, you know, speaking this after the Eagles game, not talking about because the next game or the game 2 games after, obviously, I think is one of the best games I've ever watched, considering the fact that I was so angry for most of it. I think that it was just a great, you know, culture-setting win for this specific team. I think that was a good, you know, team-building exercise. You know, it shows that these guys really do believe in each other to make the plays when they need to, and it's like the next man up kind of thing.
Yeah, big win from the Broncos. Really satisfying seeing Sean Payton and that whole staff, even Vance Joseph, just completely outcoached that Eagles team, especially after they were just a couple games removed from a Super Bowl win over the Chiefs. Broncos, Jets, yikes. This 13-11, I'm not going to lie. Like,
I don't even want to talk about this game. I watched it. It was just
so
disgusting.
Ugly. I'm glad we came away with a win. A win is a win. I will always say that. It feels good to get a win.
Ask how many.
So many Broncos fans were upset after this game. I always feel good if we just come out with the win. The one big positive, honestly, I don't know if the 2024, especially the 2023 Broncos under Sean Payton, are coming away with this win. Yeah. They're a big problem. Even last year was it just there was like a stat where like they'd be this many more wins if they just had scored one more field goal, or so many games lost by one possession. This year, it feels like this team, I saw someone say this on Twitter recently, they could very easily be 2-6, but they're 6-2 because they're actually a good team finding ways to win football games, unlike last year. So that's the big positive that came away with this. But like you said, I just really don't want to talk about this game. I just can't believe we literally almost lost that game.
Bypass. It was in London. It's like the bubble championship for LeBron. LeBron only has 3 championships, so
yeah,
it doesn't count.
The big comeback, arguably the greatest comeback in NFL history. Broncos win 33-32, scored 33 fucking points in the fourth quarter. Like, bro, this game was one of the craziest games I've ever. I mean, I remember I texting you. That's literally the craziest fourth quarter I've ever witnessed in my life. I mean, bro, what the hell? I mean, first off, I almost completely forgot. You cannot deny the fact that Demaryius Thomas' presence was in that stadium, bro.
That was, man, I felt like crying after that game.
How do you explain that?
I haven't worn that Demaryius Thomas jersey on the wall in a very long time, and I wore it. And I
still got the John Ender.
I wore the jersey, and I said I'm not wearing it anymore after this game. And that was some magic, man. There's no other way to describe that game. That was just bro, Bo Nix just has that dog in him, man. There's no explaining that game. Bo Nix just has that dog in him, and he's the franchise, man. He is the franchise. I don't know why anyone's trying to doubt it.
Yeah, I still can't believe. I mean, 4 total touchdowns from him. all being in the fourth quarter, just like, bro, what the hell was that game?
Yeah, that
We
was
talked early on. Marvin Mims had some very clutch catches as well. Yeah, just overall one of the better games I've ever seen in my life. All right, real quick, trade deadline. Who are you looking to see the Broncos potentially acquiring? If they want to really go all out and chase this Super Bowl, maybe getting one more weapon could be the best choice.
Yeah, so obviously the Dolphins had a brutal loss. We're recording this Thursday night, so brutal loss for the Dolphins. So Jalen Waddle might be on the move. I highly doubt that. I think it would be a lot for him. Same thing with Chris Olave. Really like Chris Olave, and I think that he adds something to the room that we don't already have, which I think would just open up the offense so much more. I really do like Chris Olave. Despite the concussion history, I think that he's a really great separator, and just like that prototypical wide receiver one. Can handle the volume. So I do really like Chris Olave. I don't really see the Saints trading him, but that's kind of like the only receiver I'd really want to go after. And I also had linebacker from the Jets, Quincy Williams. I've seen him in some trade talks. The Jets don't plan on trading Jamie Sherwood, who's the younger, he's a similar player, but Quincy Williams is a little bit older. I think he's 30. And he's been really solid for the Jets. I really like the way that Justin Strnad's playing. I love Alex Singleton, fellow Canadian. Well, I think he wears the Canadian flag on his helmet, but I don't think he's played the best this year. Now, missing Dre Greenlaw, that could be hindering his play because Alex Smith kind of had to, step up as the leader. But I do really like how Justin Strnad has been playing. So I think if we are going to add anyone, it would be that. I've seen David Njoku as well. I don't think that that's the best thing. It's just like getting another Evan Ingram receiving threat at tight end. I don't really see us adding another tight end, to be honest. I know Nate Atkins is hurt, but we got Mercedes Lewis. So, he's really unk. But
can you believe you just said that? We got Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah, that's like I think
dude, I couldn't believe.
I think I was 4 when he got drafted to the NFL.
Dude, so. Albright tweeted this. I literally had to double check and go on Google for this. He got drafted in the same time that fucking Rod Smith retired.
No, he got drafted. Like yeah, he got drafted. Or I don't know if he got drafted in 04 or 06, but Rod Smith officially retired 2 years after.
2 years after, bro. Mercedes what Lewis. The fuck?
I'm pretty sure he was in the same draft class as like Kyle Orton or something like that.
I thought Albright was trolling. I had to go and I'll admit this. I had to go on Google and literally check it. I was like, holy shit. Rod Smith was literally on the Broncos when this motherfucker was drafted. Yeah. And now this dude, all full circle, he's coming to the Broncos.
I think he's like 41 or 42 years old.
Yeah, he's about to break some Rod Smith records.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally unk. Yeah, I personally would, if we're looking at all these trade targets, I love Chris Olave. I talked earlier about the J.K. Dobbins, Justin Field days at Ohio State. Love CO2 in that offense. I personally would love to see him go to a contender in the NFC, preferably not the AFC, obviously. I want him to get the fuck out of New Orleans. Devon Bailey, I'm so sorry you're with that dog shit quarterback room. You guys know I love Devon Bailey to the end of time. I think both those guys need to get out. Also, Rashid Shaheed. I personally would actually really like Rashid Shaheed. I know we kind of already have that speedster that takes the top off the defense. I think Rashid Shaheed is just simply better than Marvin Mims. I mean, the dude's numbers are juice. He already has like 450 yards through like the first 8 weeks with Spencer Rattler. I mean, I do think to a degree people are a little too harsh on Rattler, but I mean, dude, he's doing that with Spencer Rattler. Imagine with Bo Nix. I mean, if you like I said early on, if you really do want to go all out and get one guy, I would prefer Shaheed over Olave just because, I mean, he's more available. I'm with you on that tight end situation. I think Sean Payton kind of just wanted to get like an inline blocker, and he got that with Lewis. Yeah, I would like Rashid Shaheed. I just don't think Sean Payton, I'm talking like less than 5% chance I think he even trades for a single player. That's kind of where I stand with the trade deadline coming up. I would not be surprised at all if the Broncos just stand pat. Real quick, week 9 preview at the Texans. We already talked about it earlier. What do you think the Broncos need to prioritize this week to pull out of this game 7-2? I mean, it's a strong Texans defense, up and down season for C.J. Stroud, but an abysmal offensive line. They're coming off an upset over the Niners. What is like one thing that you really want to see the Broncos do this week?
I mean, this is like basic, but we need to win in the trenches, man. That Texans defensive line is no joke. That definitely helps their secondary be a little bit better. I'm not saying that isn't the same thing for the Broncos, but I definitely think the Broncos secondary is a little bit better. But that Texans pass rush with Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson is no joke. So Mike McGlinchey and Garrett Bowles are going to have their hands full. But if we can win on the offensive line, establish that run, really, really, wear them out and just, score when make sure we're not leaving points on the table. Make sure we're, if we need to take three, we take three. Just don't leave any points on the table. And the defensive line has to win quickly. It's a terrible offensive line. CJ Stroud has not been good when he's under a lot of pressure, and he's been under pressure a lot. But when CJ Stroud has time, he's been amazing. So I think that with the loss of Pat Surtain for this week, we definitely need to get to the quarterback as fast as possible and
Exactly.
limit their explosive plays that way. And guys just got to step up, man. I have full faith in Riley Moss, Chris Abrams-Drain, Jaquan McMillan, Jahdae Barron, Brandon Jones, and Talanoa Hufanga, who's played amazing, by the way. Such a good signing. Hufanga's been so good. Everything we wanted and more. So those guys are really going to have to step up, and it's going to be so good having Dre Greenlaw patrolling the middle of that defense now, especially for this game.
I don't think they'll do this, but like, do you think maybe it's Vance Joseph. He hates playing rookies, but do you think maybe he would toy with the thought of moving Barron outside opposite Riley Moss?
I think they really like Chris Abrams-Drain's development. I could definitely see maybe on some reps, but what I really hope is Vance Joseph doesn't completely switch his defense up because of the loss of Pat Surtain.
Yeah.
I really hope he stays just as aggressive and plays just as much man coverage as he has been. I get that. These Texans receivers are good, but I think I have faith in the guys, man. I have faith in the guys. I don't want it to be, where we're changing the scheme because we're playing against a team, like play your defense regardless of the fact that Pat's not there, which is a huge loss. I don't want to sound like I'm understating it, but these guys, I have faith in them to step up. They're gonna play for Pat, and they it's next man up mentality with this team all over the place. You look at the defensive line and the edge rushers, like it's always next man up with those guys. So why not the corners? So I can see them, especially if the defensive line is, playing for Pat as well and doing their best. Obviously, they're doing it every play, but really, really getting aggressive in that pass rush. And I think Vance is smart enough to know that he's got to blitz a lot. So I think he's going to, and I think as long as we can, get in Stroud's head, he might make a couple mistakes and a turnover might be the difference in the game.
Yeah, I'm hoping we give those young corners some safety help this week. I do agree. I 100% agree with what you said, actually, about like keeping the same scheme and approach and game plan for this week, even though PS2 isn't out there. Schematically, everything's been perfect. I know, obviously, you can make the argument that PS2 has helped that work, but I don't know. We'll see what we're gonna get from KAD and Riley Moss this week.
Broncos are 1-0 this year as road underdogs, by the way.
I'm looking for revenge for that fucking game in 2023 because holy
I think
shit,
so. Maybe that. The Chargers game was in Los Angeles. Yeah. I don't know if we were underdogs though. I think we were. Don't get me wrong. Probably but the Eagles, we were underdogs. So yeah, why not? Why not? And we're underdogs against the Texans, by the way, which is I think is crazy.
Wow. It's going to be a tough one, but I still think we win. Offensively, I think we need to, as Richard Sherman said, run the damn ball. It's been so effective this year. You mentioned the Texans pass rush being one of the best in the NFL. I think you got to really emphasize getting that ball in J.K. Dobbins and maybe even R.J. Harvey's hands in some open space, give him some targets on the receiving game. I know I've been, shitting a lot on the screens and running back dump offs. I think maybe you can get them on a few like third downs with Tyler Bidet and R.J. Harvey. All right, guys, that has been all for today's episode. It is once again so great being back. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm your host, Amir Farrell, co-host Evan Petruk. Please stay tuned with us. We'll be back on Sunday recapping the Week 9 hopefully win against the Houston Texans. See you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.